This is your boy Czar, all rights reserved, checking in, seeing what's going on. Want to holler at you guys for everything happening. Let's conversate. I promise y'all a Miramar, as I'm going to give you what's going on, guys. How are you doing? Dealing with this situation. There was a robbery that went down. Now, I want to ask you guys, what are your thoughts on everything happening? So basically, they're doing an investigation on the side. That's the whole sum of things. There is an investigation going on in Miramar, FBI involved. You guys know all about that. We don't have to reiterate that. So these are the little questions I got to ask. So dealing with the situation on what's happening, the person in the video, I've been called that out as his manager. I've been said that. That's been mentioned. They were saying publicly, the magazine and everybody said that's the uncle. I was like, the uncle's not that dark, let alone his face, nose, mouth looks nothing like that. So I was a little weirded out. But here it gets a bit deeper. They want to know who knew what and why. And did the situation really occur as it was told to them? That's the issue. So, yes, I have multiple stories from people who have had their personal information copied and taken by people surrounding that. Now, they have been working with you guys because they expected a lot out of you and their personal information got taken. Now, we also saw a song that was stolen by Kid Trunks dealing with the boy. He was supposed to make a song with him, stole his money. That's still prosecutable. You can still go to jail for that. They don't realize it. Like, they're still in red. Like, these guys can still reach out to get you in jail, and you can still be in prison because of what you're doing. Still don't realize that. I've been mentioned Solomon when the Panama angle came up. That's been mentioned. So, being that that is the case, what is going on? What is the situation surrounding this? I would like to know. What's the detail dealing with this case? Can anyone inform me? Can you tell me what you think is going on in the comments below? Hit that like button, subscribe, hit the bell so you catch up with everything. Share so we can get further in with this. Solomon, Miramar is now on the job behind the scenes. Can you admit to anything? Can you at least admit this is you in the video? It's your face. Can you at least admit that? Because that is going to lead to more questioning, right? Because supposedly if he was there with the uncle, why would your face be in it? It's very telling. It's very expressive to a level where people are confused left and right. They're confused at it all. Now, I'm confused here because my thought is that you'd move a certain way, being that you have experience going through what others go through in this situation. So I'm trying to understand that he pulls up to meet, let's say, the uncle there for what? He needed a dirt bike. Why did you want to go with him? You of all people, his manager. Aren't you supposed to make music with him? And then after it all goes down is when they say in the report his mother shows up after it all happens. How does it go like that? So you guys knew he was familiar with these guys. And I seen him keep looking back. And you were looking at them when they came through the door. This is on footage. And they're saying that, now this is what they're saying on the other video. There was some type of signal given between them and you. Is that false? Did you not know these guys ever? Because I got pictures at the place he was hanging out with these guys. And you were there too. So you didn't know him? He looks like, what are they doing here? But you're like not trying to look. I don't understand that. That I am confused by. You were trying not to look. We know. I know. You were trying not to look. Come on now. Don't play me for a fool. You were trying not to look. I still can't figure out why until I thought about this. If I already had a conversation with them of some sort and something's going on, why would I be looking at somebody who's about to do something? Would that not be telling? So let me ask you this. being that you didn't know the guys, okay? If your phone records for not only that month, 2 months prior, and the rest of the year after, if your phone records get pulled, text messages and everything, deleted text messages, all that, there's going to be zero communication with any of them. Because one of the suspects already said they not only know Genesis, but they knew you too. Not only that, allegedly they're saying that you used to manage one of them. Look, this is just what's being said. So there is lots of evidence building up about your correlation with these suspects. But they were so solo that and so skilled, they knew when to come, they knew what to do, they knew how to do it. They did a lot before to prepare. Like, you're not telling me there wasn't an inside man. Were you the key connection between their information and X? Because you were the only person there with him. You were the only man there with him. There was no one else there in the video. Proven. He looked at the people walking through the door like, what's going on? He looked confused. I don't understand that. Why'd he look so confused and you looked so at ease? How is your artist confused, but you're comforted? For what? And then the uncle ran from the car when everything went down. So it was you. You're the track star. Right? Is Solomon the track star or not? Solomon was the dude who took off like a track star out of the car. Was that the case or not? Listen, Miramar has everything. I'm just asking you for respect so you can fight for your chance. Because here's the thing you don't get. They're all here. The judges, the prosecutors, the witnesses, everybody's here. Whether they hate me or love it, they're here. Watch it in silence, as they should. This is your last chance to defend it. Because whatever evidence they come up with after this, it is what it is. This is your chance to defend it. Why wouldn't you want to take it? You can disagree with me. You can prove another point. You can argue something else. This is your time to do so. If you haven't seen the other videos, people have been doing this. And some of them cleared themselves. But I find it hard to clear the fact that mug of a face you have is not on that video. It's not like your face is common. Guys. So, is it safe to say to the people around him that you're suspect because you were actually in the video with him when he was looking at bikes before that happened to him? Is that safe to say? And another thing, this is a question for Cleo. That morning, after that night spat that he had with Genesis, yes, we know. We've been mentioning this. Did you know he was going to that shop too, Cleo? Did you know he was going to that shop? Did you know? Excuse me, guys. Did you know? Because someone's saying you knew where he was going the next day. Are you saying that's not true? Did you know? You did not know anything about Solomon till after X passed. Yes or no? Never. So if we run the phone records on your phone, in his phone, there was never any contact between you two. Never contact. Just now, since you're trying to get things restarted. You know we can hear all those phone calls, right? Like, yo, I love how these dumb criminals move. You guys never watched any TV. You couldn't have. You couldn't have. Man. So I've been so confused as why your focus is on pushing the music lately. And I've openly told you this. You're so focused on pushing the music. What about focused on getting justice for your son? Can we focus on that? These suspects are fighting tooth and nail to show that they had nothing to do with it. Why? One of them was mentioning Genesis. Why? If you're so innocent, why? 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 I don't understand it. I don't understand. I can't figure it out. Like, even if I'm grieving, my focus is grieving around my son. It's not focused on grieving around pushing his music or getting it out. That's a fact. Say what you want to say. Like I said, feds know what they know. This information, this is courtesy, common courtesy of a YouTuber that carried this where it was when none of you cared what happened. I pushed it. I pushed the narrative. You linked up with Dom. You ran the Dom's channel. Let me do a questionnaire. Oh, I'm talking to his mom. Didn't I call you up asking you questions about the case? I called you up asking you questions about the case. I did. Let's get that correct. I called you up asking questions about the case. No one else. Dom's not even trying to find out what happened. He's just taking your word for it. You know I don't move that way. That's why I'm not a good patsy. I don't move that way. You know I don't. You know I move authentic. Authentic. I'm actually looking into details. I'm actually figuring out what it is you're mimicking. I'm actually looking at what your name stands for. I'm actually looking at what matters. These other guys are looking at what entertains the fans, how they can get the views on the fans. No, I'm looking at what happened. I'm looking at what you don't want to look at. Seemingly don't want to look at. Funny. You remember them questions I asked you on the phone? You remember them questions I asked you on the phone? Remember? You remember? Remember what I asked you on the phone? Care to think back? I'm going to let you think back. I'm tired of reminding you. I'm going to let you think back. Remember what I asked you? Those were very important questions. And you seem to have a lot of absence of answers. And we actually had a special thing they taught me where I ran it to test the emotion in you speaking. There wasn't emotion at all. And that's where I'm most confused. This is your son, and you had lack of emotion in things I'm talking about. You should have took an acting class. Maybe that would have weighed much better in the questions I was asking. What's going on? What's really going on? Solomon, why are you in that video and you never took credit and you let them take credit for the uncle? Then next thing I know, that uncle, his niece, ends up deceased on an island. Where does that make sense? Oh, let me do you one better. Not only does she end up deceased on an island, we find out that you had links to the police department. You, specifically his uncle. Well, through marriage, his uncle. Or are y'all even married, Cleo? Another question. You know, Cleo, I can see your voting status. It's to the point where I can see so much of what's going on with you that I can tell you for a fact. I can see what feds are watching about you. I can see what they're about to do. I can see when they're getting close to something and they're actually looking at it. I've been in that position. I just thought I'd let you come out, tell the truth. Your moves, buying a house, when he got you a house, doing things, you know that doesn't fit the bill of grieving, right? You know that, right? You know they started asking me, what's going on with that? And I was like, I don't know. You got to tell me, right? Sometimes when you think that you're slick, sliding on people, let me tell you something. Let me do you a favor. Let me tell you something that is very unique about feds, CIA. Let me tell you something. They do not address you right away. They sit back and watch you. They, listen, they don't even go in on you. They don't even alarm you like you're going to be arrested. They don't. They sit back and watch you. They could watch you for the next 10 years and wait till you're old and gray, then decide you to throw you in jail so you spend the rest of your years in jail. They're very unique. They come and get you at the time when it's most beneficial for your life to go on. When you brought everything, you're laughing on the beach, you had all your fun, that's when they love to get you. You don't think All rights reserved.